Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out XLM's price chart. And if you remember, in the previous update we were right in here, and the idea was that there's a good chance this move is a correction structure into this wave 4, and after it's over we are going to have another move on the upside into wave 5. And if you remember, at the same time I said after an impulse usually we are going to have some sort of a move down. However, that may not be necessarily a bearish sign. In fact, it might actually be part of the bullish process. So what happened? We did get a correction for 4, and as it turns out we did have another move on the upside. Question is, can we argue this is actually this into our wave 5 and now it's time for a move on the downside? The answer is yes, based on a couple of things. You see, I am able to find in this structure up a 5 wave, and sure, finding it is a little bit tricky, but it is possible to find a complete 5 wave in order for us to be able to say, you know what, we have completed a beautiful impulse and now it's time for a move on the downside. Also, let's go on 30-minute charts. There we go. What do we have starting from this high to about this point? I think we can all agree on the fact that this is a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure down, and who knows, maybe this is going to be just a simple correction structure on the upside. And what are we going to have next? Well, if the scenario is happening, odds are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, maybe in order for us to reach to somewhere around these areas, about like 28 cents for the first target. And at that point, assuming that we identify all the right structures after this 5 wave, we can say maybe this is just a simple ABC zigzag and it's time to continue our uptrend. This scenario can absolutely be in play. Now, at any given moment, we should be able to come up with also a bullish possibility at the same time as well, suggesting from here even we're going to go up. And how we can argue that? Here is what's going on in my mind. I think in XLM, there is a chance that we may have an ABC running flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, and then another move down into our C leg. And in this phase, we are not going to take the low of our wave A, and for our sub waves, ABC down into A, ABC, or maybe a WXY into B, not really that important, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into wave C. Now let's go on the live chart and see what's happening. So in this case, I'm going to argue instead of this point, this is actually going to be the end of our wave 4, and here is how I can argue that. Let's go on 15-minute time frame. So I said it is kind of possible to find a complete 5 wave from this point to about this side. However, as you can see in here, we do kind of consistently have overlapping of the waves between our pullbacks on the downside, and this is a characteristic of a corrective movement. So what's it that I'm trying to say? I'm trying to tell you, maybe in XLM this is like an A, B, C on the upside, and then this is an A, B, C down. And well, okay, earlier we said this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, a rather clear one, and well, on a higher degree, according to this scenario, these are the sub waves for, you know it, an A, B, C running flat, indicating this move is actually going to continue at least a little bit more in order to take this high for the first target, about like 32.5 cents. But maybe we're going to go quite a bit higher than that, and let's zoom in more and see what is happening. So I think we can say maybe this is like a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and no, let's actually say the end of our wave 2 was in here, and maybe this is like an ABC running flat, and followed by that we can have another 1 and 2, but on a lower degree relative to this one. And if this is happening in XLM, number 1, we should most likely take this important low about 30.5 cents, and number 2, from the current point, or maybe like just a bit lower, we're gonna get a rather strong move up into wave 3, 4, 5. So this scenario also can be in play. The question is, how can we say exactly whether this or the previous scenario, indicating from here we're going to get a move down instead, is happening? Well, I think you can get help from indicators. First things first, let's actually go on weekly time frame. So one more. Okay, so what's happening in MACD? We are having a sell signal, so this is not necessarily an optimistic sign. And what is going on in SOC RSI? There we go. As you can see, okay, this is not that bad because we are having a confirmed buy signal, and this happened around the oversold area. But if you do not want to be involved in any kind of short-term price action, I would like to suggest to just wait a little bit more and see buy signals in these two indicators in weekly charts at the same time. And at that point, you are able to be bullish with a hell of a lot of more confidence. And what is going on in daily time frame? In MACD, this is a buy signal. In stock RSI, also we are having a buy signal, but we may see a sell in here soon. However, this is not confirmed yet. You need to wait until the end of the day, until the current candle closes. And at that point, if we get this thing, okay, maybe it's not going to be a good sign. Now, let's go on H1 time frame and see what is happening. So let's actually delete a stock RSI. So what do we have on the live charts? This is a high. The other one is a higher high. On the other hand, in MACD, this is a high. The other one is a lower high. So this is a beautiful clear-cut bearish divergence, which, pay attention, by itself is a negative sign, suggesting bulls are kind of running out of power, and maybe soon we're going to get a move down. However, if you want to say that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is happening and we're going to get a move up, you need to see a break of this important divergence line, and that most likely is going to translate to a rather sharp and strong move on the upside in a solar lumen. Okay, so let's have a quick conclusion. In XLM, you can consider the possibility of having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up to about this high, and you can say this is a correction for wave B, and soon we're going to get another move down into our C leg. This is one possibility. The other scenario suggests this is 1, 2, 3. Correction for 4, probably actually to about here. Excuse me, let's just draw it again. And then we're going to have at least another good move up into wave 5. Now, if you want to know which scenario is going to happen, all eyes from my point of view should be on this important bearish divergence. And if we break it, you can count on this more bullish possibility to play out. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in XLM. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.